We now move on to the IIT Madras Awards. I'll hand over the mic to Mrs. Lata Venkatachalam, Executive Director, IIT Madras Alumni Association.
Thank you. We come towards the end of the day, and I'm sure all of you have had a great day here. Yes? Thank you so much. So we move on to the, every annually we've been doing this IIT Madras Alumni Association Awards for our alumni and faculty. And this is the 7th year that we are giving out these awards. The awards are usually given out at the annual general body meeting of IIT Madras Alumni Association. And this year, with the maiden conclave Sangam, we thought this is the best platform to have all of you here. And we quickly move on to the awards. So the first award here is for the young entrepreneur of IIT Madras Alumni Association, Akant Sitra. I haven't heard from you. Akant, are you here? Okay, I think his flight is delayed. He just couldn't get here. So I request Madhu to kindly take the award on behalf of the Secretary of IIT Madras from Mr. Rana. So Akant Sitra has this company, IIS Baba Educational Services, and we've all seen a huge aspiration among IITians to apply for civil services and to serve the country. Now Akant, with this aspiration, not only wanted to do it all by himself, he wanted a whole group with him, and thus started the IIS Baba Education Service. And he is currently the Central Intelligence Officer, Intelligence Bureau, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. And we will definitely pass on these applause to him. A great round of applause for Akant, who is not here with us today. Second award of the evening, which is the Entrepreneur of the Year, is Dilip Keshu, M.Tech in Aeronautics and Production Engineering 1998, the company Born Group. Can we have you on stage, Keshu? Keshu has very graciously, he's based out of US. He's here to be with us today. Please, Keshu. Dilip Keshu has proved that Indians can dream to set up global companies, and he did that in not in just 1 but 6 countries. Giving a tough run for other global organizations, Dilip Keshu's company Born Group Inc. is now world famous for its award-winning work in the field of brand exercise, design, expression, activation, and has backed some high-profile international clients and won many awards. And I'm sure this award is more close to his heart, and let's hear it from Keshu, what he has to say.
I'd like to thank the Alumni Association of IIT Madras for this award. I didn't come prepared for a speech, but I'll say a few words. The best and the finest engineers, technologists, scientists come from the IITs. But on a very rare occasion, one of us goes off the beaten path and finds an entirely new world, and we succeed. So this is an uncommon award because you've given it to a mad discoverer and not a brainy entrepreneur. So I'm very happy that IIT has given it to a person who runs a digital marketing agency that does brand design and connects the world of science and art. So I'm very grateful and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Keshu. This award is very close to many of us here. It's a distinguished service to IIT Madras. No surprises here, Professor R. Nagarajan, our alumni, B.Tech in Chemical Engineering 1981. We like that. I'm sure I'm not giving any introduction there. He has been a great support to IIT Madras and the Alumni Association. You all can see the energy he ran, and he maintains that. Thank you, Professor Nagarajan, for the great service to IIT Madras Alumni Association.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to receive this award from the IIT Madras Alumni Association. Even though I've been with the Office of Alumni Affairs at IIT Madras for almost a decade, my association with the association goes back even farther, about 14 years. So very happy to be receiving this award. I should also say that it's customary on these occasions to thank the spouse, and more of a formality in many ways, but in my case it's literally true that my wife, Usha, who was doing Lata's job for 3 years with the Alumni Association, is actually the one who kind of pulled me into Alumni Affairs and eventually into the Office of Alumni Affairs, and made it possible for me to serve the Institute and serve the alumni community for nearly a decade. And so very pleased and very honored to accept this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. So we move on to the Leadership Excellence Award to Thomas George, BTech in Metallurgy, 1982. He is based out of US, and I'm sure he is watching us on the live webcast. We miss you here, Thomas George. We have with us his friend Ravi, who's going to take this award on his behalf. So Thomas George works for this company as the CEO of Serania Sat Inc., and he has demonstrated leadership in multiple areas over a 3-decade distinguished career. He has worked in the hardware software solution for satellite-based hyperspectral imaging, remote sensing for precision agriculture and defense applications. Yeah. So that's for you, Ravi. So thank you, Thomas. We have an acceptance speech from Thomas, which he has sent it for us. Rakesh will have that now.
Good evening. I would like to express my deep thanks to the IIT Madras Alumni Association for selecting me for this prestigious Leadership Excellence Award. I was deeply humbled and grateful when I was first admitted to IIT Madras back in 1977, and once again now by this valuable recognition by my beloved alma mater. I owe a great debt to my motherland, India, and to IIT Madras in particular. Other than my education, the gift that I treasure most from IIT was the complete destruction of my ego and the great wisdom that no goal in life is too hard to achieve if one is not afraid to look stupid in public. In the 1950s and 60s, when Jawaharlal Nehru and other leaders laid the foundation for an elite technological workforce that would shape India's future, I would hazard a guess that they had no idea of the ultimate implications of their creation. Little did they imagine that the influence of IITians would extend far beyond India's borders and, in our day, impact practically every sphere of activity across the globe. And so, now the question arises, what is next for us? IITians have always loved solving problems, and the harder they get, the more they relish them. My pick for a grand challenge is to achieve gender financial parity within our lifetimes. Just as Nobel Prize winner Muhammad Yunus has advocated the right to credit become a fundamental human right, I would like to push for the right to financial independence for women. No longer should a woman have to be with a man because of societal or religious compulsions, but because she chooses to do so. I have a very simple core belief that a large majority of the world's problems, including overpopulation, migration to the cities, poor family and public hygiene, lack of child education and well-being, and the lack of a decent quality of life, all stem from women not being economically independent in their own right. Therefore, my call to action for all IITians, including myself, is to work hard towards achieving this very daunting goal. And perhaps we can make Chacha Nehru smile at having surprised him yet again. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, for that. So a quick thing on the awards and why this is very special this year. So as I mentioned in the years, all these years, so there were 3 awards which were given actually. The Young Entrepreneur Award, Distinguished Service to IIT MAA, and a faculty who has been doing a service. So this year we have included all the new categories this year, which is the Entrepreneur of the Year, Leadership Excellence, and the next in line is an award for social impact by our alumni. We have S.V. Raja Vaidyanathan, B.Tech in Engineering Physics, 1977. His company is Asirvad Microfinance. 10 years back, Raja Vaidyanathan moved from a high-profile corporate leader assignment to start his own company in the financial inclusion space, microfinance. Started with a mission to cater 1 million poor women. Today, Asirvad Microfinance is a pan-India player with a loan portfolio of about 2,500 crores. This is the largest Chennai-based NBFC MFI. Raja Vaidyanathan, still committed to do more in this space, is working on full digitization of disbursements and collections. And he is one of the alumni couples of IIT Madras. Please, Raj.
Thank you. I'm not B.Tech Physics. There's nothing like B.Tech Physics. I'm B.Tech Electrical Engineering. At the outset, thank you for this award. It was sheer chance that in 2006, I think the previous awardee also mentioned about Mohammad Yunus. Mohammad Yunus got the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006. And by that time, I'd done about 25 years in a regular corporate world. And I was looking for something. And as Rana said, I thought when I saw that my calling was microfinance. And I started in the beginning of 2007 with a small branch in Chennai, put majority of my earnings. And in this last 11 years, we have grown pan-India. We have got about 900 branches across India. And we have, as she said, we have distributed more than 10,000 crores to poor women in India. We have about 1.5 million women in as borrowers. The job satisfaction which people talk about, whatever I had in the last 25 years in corporate sector, I think that was nothing compared to what I have in this last 11 years. Seeing it might sound a cliche, but seeing a poor woman smile when she receives the money, which is denied by her by most of the banks in India. And that is something which is priceless, and I'm very happy to be acknowledged for making women of India happy. And I thank IIT MAA for this. And I'm sure that this will inspire me more to reach greater heights. Thank you.
So the next category is for the faculty working in the section for social impact. So we have here with us Dr. Sujata Srinivasan, B.Tech in Mechanical Engineering, IIT Madras from 1992 batch. Yes, Dr. Sujata Srinivasan, happy to have you here. Dr. Sujata Srinivasan's work in the areas processes and projects, biomechanics and mechanisms of rehabilitation, research and device development, R2D2. Please do visit IIT Madras and please do see her lab. It's something fantastic. And this group focuses on the development of assistive devices and aids for rehabilitation that are biomechanically and economically suited to Indian lifestyles and conditions. She's a co-inventor on several US and international patents for prosthetic designs from her prior work. Yes, Dr. Sujata Srinivasan.
Thank you, IIT MAA, for this wonderful honor. It's especially special because, in most cases, you have to sort of apply for awards. And in this case, it was just out of the blue that, they took the trouble to find out what I'm doing, and so it's really an honor. It's something very special. So I run the Rehabilitation Research and Device Development Center that's funded by TTK at IIT Madras. And we work in the area of developing assistive devices for people with mobility impairments. And it's something that it's a calling, as Rana put it so nicely. It's a passion that I found when I was at IIT as a student. So I took something up in that area for my final year project. And I've been doing that ever since. It's over 25 years now. And I spent 15 years in the US and came back to IIT Madras as faculty. And it's been wonderful. The support I have received from the Institute, and especially from alumni in terms of funding and the encouragement, has played a large part in what we've been able to do. And I hope to, in the other years I have at IIT Madras, I have a wonderful group of students I've had over the years, students and staff, who've been just as passionate, who have really put their hearts and souls into the work that we do. And we now have a startup from our lab as well, which I hope is going to go places, literally. So I hope that accessibility becomes a part of our environments, and just as people talked about empowerment of women, empowerment of people with impairments, we just need to give them the opportunities and the technology to be able to be a part of everything that everyone else takes for granted. So thank you all for this wonderful honor, and thank you for your support. I would also like to thank my husband and 2 of my 3 daughters who are here, without whose support, and my husband holds the fort at home, without which, I would not be able to do what I've been able to do. He's followed me to jobs, because my area is so narrow and I have always been adamant about working in this area. So he's the one who's always moved, with me to take and found new jobs or done that. And my daughters, they give freely, they share me freely with my students. My students come at all hours of the day for whatever. And so it's a thank you to them, and to my mother, who's probably watching this webcast from the US. Amma, thank you for, I'm sorry. My father passed away when I was 15. And my mother had never worked a day in her life before, outside. She was very, I'm really sorry, but if she hadn't made the choice to go to work, then I would not be where I am today. And I'm so, thank you.
So that is how lovely our alumni, our faculty is. Thank you,
Thank
Sujata.
you.
Thank you, Sujata. That was very interesting. That indeed was wonderful. Thank you so much. Last but not the least, the award for innovation, faculty who has done a wonderful job in innovation, Dr. T. Pradeep. BSc, MSc from the Calicut University and PhD from Indian Institute of Science. His currently here with us in IIT Madras. Thank you, sir. Dr. Pradeep's work is in the area of molecular materials and surfaces. His group developed several technologies to remove contaminants from drinking water, combining several such materials. An all-inclusive, affordable drinking water purifier has been developed. Existing aspects of this technology is the creation of advanced materials by simple and environment-friendly methods. This technology, named Amrit, is being implemented now in the arsenic-affected regions of India. About 6 lakh people have been benefited from these installations. Several other drinking water technologies have been rolled out of this lab. This is a go-to place in IIT Madras, and we welcome each one of you to please come and visit his lab. Yes, sir.
It's wonderful to be here. As Sujata said, I didn't have to apply for this award. 4 days ago, I got an email that IIT Madras Alumni Association is pleased to give this award to you. It was wonderful. Thank you very much. 25 years ago, I came to IIT Madras, around 25 years, so 6 months to go. At that point in time, I was a chemist looking at atoms and how they come together, molecules and molecules, how they come together. But then, around 2000, I decided to make a switch. And that switch was to use how these materials can be used for something useful. I decided to work on water, and that was a time we found that pesticides were present in Pepsi Cola. And then we found several interesting things. And that was the very first patent that I had, which said that nanoparticles can break pesticides. It was an Indian patent, but we got Institute got about 2.7 crores of royalty from just that finding. That made me realize that Indian industry was ready to take up things of this kind born in India. Since then, several things happened. And today, that technology has reached about 7.5 million people. This arsenic technology has now reached about 900,000 people. We have built several companies and lots of interesting things. But what has happened? This happened just because there was IIT Madras behind me. And in that process, a chemist transformed into a chemical engineer, a physicist, a mechanical engineer, all of those things into one, everything bundled into one. And this happened also because of the students. So I'm standing here. While I do this, I'm also having intense research. This became possible because of IIT Madras. Translation of research into products happened just because of IIT Madras. So for that, I should first thank my institute. I should thank that institute has itself undergone tremendous transformation. Ours was the first company, 001, to get registered, going through the institute's incubation policies. And since then, we have built many companies, over 160 or so. So many things have happened in the institution. Apart from all that, institute has become a place wherein technology, arts and humanities and everything else is combined together in this institution. That it has become borderless. And that is wonderful. And that is where new things can happen. And I would also say that the student community is looking at research outcome as a possible way to invest in their life into. And with that, they are in a position to build value for the country. So that's something very new in the past 25 years that has happened. I am standing here because of my wife. She decided to stay back at home. She quit a job to do this. And because of that, it was necessary for me to do at least the work of at least 2 people. And I am sure that I'm by and large, doing that. I would end this thing by saying that all of this became possible because of giant support from the Department of Science and Technology. I shouldn't stop there. I'm standing here largely because of my teachers. Thank you very much.
So the mail that was sent to you, Professor Pradeep, was just not out of the blue. There's a lot of work which was done by the, by Professor Ravindra Gettu, who kind of helped us get all your profiles together, work on it, see where you are. So this is something which has gone after a lot of work. So there was nominations which were called for the alumni for the other awards. Yours, a lot of research has gone to it. Yeah, so congratulations, and we're really happy. Thank you so much, and this is the time we would like to give our token of appreciation to Mr. Rana, who has been extremely kind, very humble. Thanks to you, thanks to your office, Deepika, Ms. Mahesh, and all of them have been very, very kind. Thank you so much for being here. Can we have our token of appreciation? He's been very kind, giving us a small interview, posing for photographs. Yes, Jayapriya on stage, who has spent quite some time trying to keep him comfortable and telling him what we are doing today. That's a coffee table book on IT. Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's something more coming in. Something more coming in. So we actually thank Venture East team for helping us get Mr. Rana here, and they have a gift for you, and we like the gift they're giving you. It's a IIT Madras t-shirt. So do send us a picture with that t-shirt. Oh, and yeah, they're making this. See, that's how you make hay while the sun shines. Look at that. That's very smart. Shrikant, you have a good team. Yeah. That's Mansi. Mansi was very helpful in coordinating everything for us. Thank you, Mansi. Oh yeah, that's a fan frenzy moments there. Yeah. Hashtag IIT MAA Sangam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Rana. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. Thank you so much. Real pleasure. Thank you so much. All good things come to an end, not before we say thank you. And let us have some closing remarks from the conclave chairperson, Rajiv Lochan.
I imagine everyone is running out to take selfies with Rana, so I'll keep this very brief. For those that are in the room, I don't know if you know, but you all have started a tradition today. You're the founding members of Sangam, Confluence for Impact. Thank you for being part of the founding team, for being here and for supporting us. This is a ritual that we are hoping the IIT Madras Alumni Association will sustain for many years to come. And I hope today has given you a little bit of a snapshot of what is possible in India, what we as alumni of IIT Madras can actually contribute. And hopefully we've drawn some inspiration not only from speakers who've been here, but most importantly the awardees at the fag end, who I certainly was very inspired by and energized by. Request from all of us at the Alumni Association would be that all of you please get involved, contribute ideas. If you can help plan the next year's conclave, that would be fantastic. But above all else, to echo both the philanthropy panel and Kiran Bedi from the morning, please give back to the Institute and to our country. Thanks so much for being here. Good day.
And the sponsors. So we thank the deans, director of the institute, our advisory committee, our guests, all of you, alumni. Hope to see all of you next year. The speakers, panelists, the sponsors. I do want to take a minute to thank our MCs here, Shweta and Anjali. Can you please come on stage? Yeah, coming up. You can stand, no issues. So Madhu, could you do the honors, please? Thank them, Jaypriya. Thank you so much, Shweta and Anjali. Fabulous job, thanks. All right, I'd like to thank the vendors who supported us. Lata?
Yeah.
Sharman for logistic support. Are you here?
Agni Sharman, are you around? Oh, he just walked with Rana.
Okay, so thank you very much. Sarah Designs. Anyone
Oh,
here?
outside.
Okay, show space.
Rakesh. Rakesh of Show Space, please come onto the stage. Today would not have been possible without Rakesh.
I will move on while we wait for Rakesh. Shine Thomas for live streaming. Are you
Shine
here?
Thomas. I think everybody is rushed for their fan frenzy moment.
Thank you very much. IIT Madras students, thank you
The volunteers.
for volunteering today. IA and our staff who've worked very hard behind the scenes. IIT Madras Alumni Association staff, Lata and the team, thank you very much. Absolutely, this event would have happened without you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And last but not the least, the organizing committee. This event started off, the committee took charge about a year ago. I'm talking about the new Alumni Association committee. And about 6 months ago is when we realized we wanted to do an event like this, a big bang event. And Rajiv was kind enough to accept. And doing an event of this magnitude is hard enough, but doing it in a short span of time, a first of a kind event for us, was no mean task. Thank you very much, Rajiv. Fantastic. Really appreciate it. I do want to thank Sudarshan for helping curate this event. My fellow office bearers, Madhu and Jaypriya, without whom this event wouldn't have happened. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Look forward to seeing all of you next year.